The Golden State Warriors are still weighing every move through the lens of Stephen Curry's championship window. At 37, the clock is ticking. Golden State might only get 2 more shots at the title with their generational superstar, and that urgency makes trade pitches like this one especially fascinating. Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report recently floated an idea that would send Brandon Podziemski to the San Antonio Spurs in exchange for reigning Rookie of the Year Stephon Castle. The trade pitch. Warriors receive Stephon Castle. Spurs receive Brandon Podziemski, Gue Santos, 2028 first-round pick, top 3 protected. At first glance, it's a blockbuster that might make both teams hesitate. Podziemski is a promising young guard who fits Golden State style. Castle is already a budding star, but he's part of a crowded Spurs backcourt alongside De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper. That overlap is what creates the possibility. If San Antonio ever decided the fit wasn't right, Castle would be the piece to move. Why the Warriors would do it? For the Warriors, everything comes back to Curry. They need to maximize every possession, every season, and every move until he hangs it up. Podziemski brings shooting, playmaking, and energy. He's a willing defender who regularly takes charges and plays with toughness, though his lack of elite athleticism may cap his long-term defensive upside. Offensively, he can still be streaky. Castle, meanwhile, checks boxes the Warriors have lacked in recent years. He's bigger, stronger, and more athletic, with significantly more defensive upside. Offensively, he's not the pure shooter Podziemski is, but Golden State could live with that trade-off if it means adding a versatile guard who can grow into a foundational piece once Curry retires. Why the Spurs might consider it? San Antonio's backcourt is loaded. Fox is locked in after signing a 4-year, $229 million extension. Harper just went number 2 in the 2025 draft. That leaves Castle, talented as he is, potentially squeezed for touches. If the Spurs decided they couldn't keep all 3 long-term, moving Castle could net them a valuable return. Podziemski offers shooting and playmaking to complement Fox and Harper. Santos brings depth, and the 2028 first-round pick adds future flexibility. Still, it's not an easy call. Castle just averaged 14.7 points on 42.8% shooting as a 20-year-old rookie. Giving up that kind of talent so soon would be a tough sell for a team trying to build a championship core. The Warriors' verdict. For Golden State, this deal is about 2 timelines: winning now with Curry and preparing for life after him. Castle could help on both fronts, giving them defensive toughness in the short term and a potential franchise cornerstone for the future. Podziemski is a fan favorite, and the Warriors have been hesitant to move him before. But Castle is the kind of player you don't get a shot at often. If the Spurs made him available, Golden State would have to think hard about saying yes. The reality is simple: Curry's window won't last forever. Moves like this could be the difference between fading out quietly and making one last push for a title. The Golden State Warriors' long-shot hopes of prying Giannis Antetokounmpo away from Milwaukee took a hit this week. The 2-time MVP's older brother, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, agreed to return to the Bucks on a guaranteed 1-year, $2.9 million contract, ESPN's Shams Charania reported. The deal is widely viewed as another signal that Giannis intends to remain in Milwaukee, at least in the short term. Still, the Warriors and several other teams are not ready to give up. Warriors' interest not going away. Veteran NBA insider Mark Stein reported that while the Bucks project a never-had-it-out confidence about Giannis' future, multiple teams continue to monitor the situation closely. The truth, furthermore, is that I'm not sure the knowledge Antetokounmpo has opted for the status quo will do much to dissuade teams that still dream of luring him away from continuing such plotting behind closed doors. Stein wrote on his Substack newsletter, The Stein Line. I can think of at least 6 or 7 teams that have been anticipating an opportunity to make a credible trade run at him, and I suspect that list, in actuality, is longer than mine reads. According to The Athletic's Sam Amick, Antetokounmpo has long been considered the Warriors' dream trade target, an idea that has persisted since the height of their dynasty. Ties between Curry and Antetokounmpo. That dream got new life in February when Antetokounmpo made a surprise appearance at Stephen Curry's party in San Francisco during All-Star Weekend. Warriors owner Joe Lacob, forward Draymond Green and their former center Kevin Looney were also in attendance. Antetokounmpo, who has been known to be a dream target of the Warriors for a long time, made a late-night appearance at Curry's party in San Francisco during All-Star Weekend. Warriors officials on hand took gleeful notice, including fellow attendee, Golden State owner Joe Lacob. Amick wrote in May. Amick also pointed out that both Curry and Antetokounmpo are represented by Octagon, a global agency with deep ties in the international basketball community. Giannis is represented by fellow Greek Alex Saratzis, while Curry is represented by Jeff Austin, the head of Octagon's basketball division. Saratzis also represents Seth Curry, an unrestricted free agent rumored to be on Golden State's radar. Still, it was a Warriors-centric event with one notable and very large exception, Amick wrote. And while Golden State is deeply invested in its Jimmy Butler era at the moment, the reality about a player like Antetokounmpo is that his greatness could compel nearly every owner and GM in the league to adjust their plan. What a potential deal could look like. The Warriors would face steep competition if Antetokounmpo ever pushed for a trade, but they do have some assets to dangle. A one-for-one swap involving Butler, whom Golden State acquired this summer, would make the salary math work. In addition, Golden State controls up to 4 first-round picks, 3 of them unprotected, that could sweeten the deal. The Warriors could also include former lottery pick Jonathan Kuminga, a 22-year-old forward who is a restricted free agent, to give Milwaukee a young piece to build around. The Bucks, however, face their own complications. Milwaukee does not control its own first-round draft picks until 2031, which limits the incentive to pivot toward a full rebuild if Antetokounmpo were to request a trade. The Bucks are interested in Kuminga as they inquired about a possible sign-and trade for him, but backed off when the Warriors asked for Bobby Portis, Clutch Point's Brett Siegel reported. For now, status quo. For now, Antetokounmpo appears committed to Milwaukee, especially with the return of his brother. But around the league, and particularly in the Bay Area, teams continue to hold out hope that circumstances could change. And if they do, the Warriors plan to be at the front of the line. The Golden State Warriors could soon reunite with an NBA champion. Over the past several years, the Warriors have been searching to find success similar to their dynasty run of the late 2010s. While most seasons have ended in relative disappointment, their 2022 title run was a magical reminder of Golden State's championship DNA. While that run is probably best remembered for Stephen Curry's first Finals MVP, Klay Thompson's triumphant return from injury, and one last title run for Draymond Green and the Big Three, some key role players were instrumental to the championship. While many of those role players have blazed new trails in the time since, one of those key contributors could be playing for the Warriors again next season. Gary Payton back to Golden State? In a recent Bleacher Report article, Eric Pincus gave predictions for the top remaining free agents as September begins. Among the top free agents still available is Gary Payton II, and Pincus predicted that he'll soon end up with the Warriors again. Although Payton has bounced around a bit throughout his career, there is no doubt that he is best known for his time in Golden State. With Pincus noting that Payton is a great fit alongside Curry, the general assumption is that he will be back with Golden State again next season. Having been on the team again for the past 2.5 seasons already, Payton's NBA home has been San Francisco for quite some time, and that seems unlikely to change.